Ambassadori Rini Ushla, a Georgia, Céad Míle Fáilte Rómh go léir go dtí an éile sconán an British and Irish film season, agus go dtí an sconán éarnach seo Life's a Breeze. Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear friends, I'd like to warmly welcome you all to the opening screening of the British and Irish film season 2013. I do so on my own behalf, but also on behalf of my colleague, my good friend, my co-patron, the Honourable Alice Walpole, British Ambassador. I speak also for Ambassador Walpole when I say that we are pleased, proud even, to support this film season and to act as patrons, as we have done now for the past 3 years, because it's an opportunity for us to promote our respective cultures, which actually probably aren't all that different. But also it's an opportunity for us to showcase the very best of talent in filmmaking in Ireland and Britain. And I think that's particularly important in Luxembourg, where good cinema and good film is so much respected and appreciated. I'd like to take this opportunity, if I may, very briefly, to thank all of the sponsors involved in making this possible, and also to our hosts tonight, Utopolis, our very good friends here, always look after us. But in particular, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and congratulate the organiser of the British and Irish Film Festival, Mr. Jeff Thompson of Chronicle.lu. Now, we'll hear from Jeff shortly, but I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that Jeff has travelled far and wide, meeting Irish filmmakers throughout Britain and Ireland in the past 12 months. And he's worked extremely hard to put together this programme this year, which I'm sure you'll all agree has something for everyone. So congratulations and well done, Jeff. Actually, the one thing that did strike me about the film season this year is that, particularly this year, is that it is very much a British and Irish film season. Yes, of course, there are British-produced films and Irish-produced films, but there's at least one Irish-British co-production. There's at least one Irish-produced film that was made in the UK, filmed in the UK, and there's at least one British film that is directed by and stars some incredible Irish artists. And I think that's a reflection of the very strong links between the industries in both countries, both in front of and behind the camera. And I guess that mirrors simply the deep and deepening relationship between our two countries in every aspect of life, whether that's politics or economics or culture, sport, history, and family. And long may that continue. I haven't seen tonight's film, Life's a Breeze, but I'm told it's a feel-good recession comedy. There's something contradictory in that somewhere. But I think it's also a reflection of our shared cultural capacity certainly in Ireland, but also in Britain, to find and unmercilessly exploit the humour in every miserable situation and difficult encounter. Okay, tá súilgam go buinseamh talamh agus an sconán seo, agus as an éile sconán. I wish you a very pleasant evening. I hope you enjoy tonight's film, and I hope you very much enjoy the rest of this British and Irish film season. One final comment, if I may, Jeff, before handing over. Every recession comedy deserves a recession drink, and you're all invited for one or even two afterwards. And if there are any phrases or expressions or sayings in this film that you don't understand, I'll be happy to try to translate or interpret later. Okay, enjoy the movie. Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for attending this 4th annual British and Irish film season here in Luxembourg. This year we have a total of 11 films and 20 screenings, crossing a whole variety of genre We've got documentaries, we've got suspense drama, we've got romantic comedies, we've got a bit of everything for everyone. And these span most of the countries in the British Isles. We've got something from England, something from Ireland, something from Scotland, and the Isle of Man. Unfortunately, there was a specific film I was hoping that we could bring from Wales, but it's not quite on release yet. It's called Svengali. So when that comes out, maybe it's something that you might like to go and see later on. But back to the film season. Apart from the films themselves, we've got many exciting things. We've got a special season special ticket. So those people who would like to see more than one film, they can buy a ticket for €25, which will allow them to see 5 films for the price of 3. We've got a documentary day where this is on the second Sunday. So we've got 2 documentaries showing that day. We've got a shorts programme, I think that's screened tomorrow evening. We've got a dinner in collaboration with the Whisky Club Luxembourg. The only issue we had in the planning there was regarding the spelling of the word whiskey. We haven't even started yet, but the vibes that I'm getting from the initiative from the young and not so young journalist competition has been very, very positive indeed. And we believe that we have some budding young journalists here in the audience this evening. This is where students at secondary schools, whether or not they're studying English through their mother tongue or not, so this is across all secondary schools in Luxembourg. We're talking about another category in language schools, and we're also talking about the university as well. So anyone from those can come to any of the screenings and write a review of the film and enter the competition, and we'll be having the prize giving on the last weekend, on the last day at the closing screening in Cine Utopia in Limpensburg. And just one point of clarification on that, if there are young budding journalists in those categories who would like to enter more than one review for more than one different film, they are entirely allowed to do that, and certainly very welcome to do that as well. We've got a series of special outings, so we've got groups such as, I've mentioned the Whisky Club Luxembourg, we've got the Ireland Luxembourg Chamber of Commerce, the British Chamber of Commerce, the Network, the Irish Club of Luxembourg, the Ireland Manx Society as well. So we've got a lot of different groups that are availing of the screenings here to see specific films. We've got an industry masterclass that we're planning to put together as well at the end, and we've got a series of special guests. Now, I can confirm that this Friday evening, we've got Maxine Peake, who's a lead actress of Run and Jump. She is coming. She will be at the screening. She will be involved in a Q&A after the screening as well. So we really hope for a good crowd to turn out to that. The following day on Saturday, we've got the Callback Queen. Run and Jump. With Maxine Peake. This is quite a strong emotional drama, and it is about the upsets to a family when the husband, the father, comes out of hospital after having suffered a stroke and has to use the French term, be reanimated. And it's how he has to learn, and there's an American researcher that comes into the family, and it's about the balance of relationships in there. I saw this at the Galway Film Festival, and it's very, very well acted. The Callback Queen I also saw in Galway, and this is a romantic comedy. We have both Amy Joyce Hastings, who's the lead actress, coming over, and Graham Cantwell, the director. So this is Saturday evening. We really hope that we can get a good crowd for that as well. On next Monday, the 30th of September, we have the Luxembourg premiere of Love Eternal. This is an Ireland-Luxembourg co-production. It's a strong drama again, and we believe that we have some members of the cast in the audience here tonight. I'm not going to name you, but we will have a lot of people from both in front of and behind the camera on Monday evening, and there'll be a reception after that as well. Then on Friday the 4th, the evening of the Whiskey Dinner, we will have in attendance at that dinner, we will have the producer Simon Crocker and the screenwriter Michael Walden of the film You Want Me to Kill Him. Now this is a very, very good, it's my personal favourite of the films that I've seen, but that's not to say it'll be the favourite of everyone. Everyone's got their own preferences, but it's a suspense drama based on a true story, and it's linked with the issue of the safer use of the internet. And it's a true story that happened in Manchester 10 years ago. I would really, really recommend that. And then for the second, the penultimate screening on the 7th of October, Rush, we're hoping for a very special guest at that as well, and to be involved in the industry masterclass earlier that day. I said I would mention all the sponsors. So I know you can read, but I also said to the sponsors that I would mention them. So we've got Orange and Utopia SA, the gold sponsors. We've got CityJet and Sofitel, who have helped really to be able for us to bring these special guests over, both accommodation and in flight. And we bank Haviland as well as the other silver sponsor. And then the bronze sponsors, SES, Jemison, that may give you a clue as to what may be happening in the Whiskey Dinner. Chapter 1, BGLB, Paribas, and that's the notepad I'm using and the pen I was using from them earlier on. We've got Opham Law, we've got Little Britain and Binsfeld. And the media partners, apart from Chronicle.lu, we've got Delano in print and Our City Radio on radio. On radio. I'm almost finished. Hopefully everyone here will have their copies of the official brochure. And this is not just for one read, throw away. I'm really, really encouraging you to reach out to friends, families, co-workers, people that you know, that you feel that might be interested in one or more of these screenings. And we'd be absolutely delighted if you could help spread the word. And I think that is about it for me, apart from saying a real sincere word of thanks to the volunteers, two of whom you've seen already this evening. Others will be at other screenings here and in Cine Utopia in Limpsburg and in Utopolis Belval in Inesh. I would like to thank you for attending, and I now declare the 4th annual British and Irish Film Season open. Enjoy the screen.